Welcome to Start Somewhere, the podcast with Isabelle. I'm your host, Isabelle Prestia, and I'll be sharing my mind shifts and tools to turn your struggles into some of your best wins ever. We'll be chatting how you can fight fear, cultivate confidence, and become the most empowered person I know you are so deserving of. All by starting somewhere. Let me tell you another story. There was this girl who had just recently broken up with her boyfriend. She was about to call one of her best friends to tell her the news. However, she was hesitating back and forth whether she could even bring herself to talk about it. But something urged her to press call, her intuition. After telling her best friend the news, her friend went quiet and didn't respond how you would expect a best friend to respond. This girl knew something was up. She was driving home in peak hour traffic and she started to feel an awful pit in her stomach, a gut feeling. The best friend said she had something to tell her. It's like this girl's intuition came back in full swing as she instantly knew the words that were about to come out of her best friend's mouth. Her best friend told this girl she had heard that her boyfriend was cheating on her. Every word, yet no words at the same time, came out of this girl's mouth. After forcing herself to calm down, she composed herself, ready to confront her boyfriend on the news she'd just found out. Keeping her cool, she casually asked the boyfriend if this was true, and he responded with no response. Sometimes no reply is worse than an actual reply. The rest is kind of a blur, except the thoughts that I had to keep going. I refused to let this stop me. I refused to be broken and I refused to be scared of loving again. It just seemed like such a waste. I'm sharing with you how you can keep going too. If anything, my heart has grown fonder and bigger. I set boundaries and love with my all. I want you to firstly realize how somebody treats you is a reflection on them, not you. I'm going to say this again because it is so important for you to drill this into your head. So how somebody treats you is not a reflection on you, but a reflection on them. We cannot blame ourselves for how people may treat us. And we're also not playing the victim card here, guys. We are strong, empowered women and men who are owning the shit in our life. I want you to look for gratitude, even in the hardest times, because this is when it all counts. Look for gratitude in the tiniest way possible. This is where you'll find your strength and own your struggles. So for me, this started with my home. I moved back home and I was grateful to be back in the house with my family and having my mum's home cooked meals every night. I want you to start as simple as possible, no matter how awful the struggle is that you have been or that you are currently going through. Actionable steps I want you to realize are go live your life. Do not feel bad for meeting new people. Don't feel bad for maybe you're partying too much, you're meeting lots of friends, you're having lots of fun. Also, don't feel bad for staying in bed the whole day. This is your time. Date yourself, become your own best friend. This is how I coasted through this. This is how I controlled my flight through everything. I was okay with the down times, the high times, and then I was okay with having myself. I had my own back. I was my best friend. I still am my best friend. I don't care if that sounds crazy. You guys have to do that. You have to love yourself enough. By becoming your best friend, you are learning to be comfortable with yourself. You are cultivating confidence. So if you have gone through a breakup, it doesn't even have to be recently, but if you have gone through a breakup, I really want you to make sure you're doing the reflection time. Reflect on you in the breakup and what were your negative traits? What were your toxic traits? We all have them. Meditation is honestly what allowed me to coast through this the best I could. I'm not even joking when I say it just helped me become so clear and it just helped me reflect so much and just be so like cool, calm, and collected, I'm basically going to say I so easily could have taken the first option I said in my first episode of letting it ruin me. I so easily could have been like the classic girl who resents men and hates love and is broken and has trust issues. Like, I so easily could have taken that path. I saw how easy it is to fall into that trap, how easy it is to fall into that negative lifestyle and mindset. But that's where I put in the extra work, and I was just so conscious of my thoughts, and I just banished all overthinking. I worked my hardest to just control my mindset, and that's how it allowed me to grow, and that's how I allowed my heart to grow even bigger than what it was back then. I have so much love for the people in my life, and I'm nowhere near as guarded as I was when I was in a relationship, which is such an interesting thought, actually. So whether meditation is for you or not, I would really love for you to give it a go, even if it just means looking up a 5-minute tutorial on YouTube. There is just so much power in sitting in silence and blocking out the world around you, focusing on your breath, and slowly starting to be mindful and aware of the thoughts that come into your mind. That's what meditation is. You can't stop your thoughts. If that's what you think, that's not the case. I don't think it's actually possible to stop your thoughts unless you're dead. It is starting with focusing on your breath, and maybe you have a mantra. That's the type of meditation I do. Or maybe have some really peaceful background music, and even do a guided meditation. Start simple, guys. Meditation is my love. As soon as you kind of get into this flow and you filter out all of the thoughts, you will be able to honestly block out the world around you, and everything goes silent and it's peaceful and it's safe, and you open your eyes after and you are just so crisp and clear. Gratitude is honestly the first step to taking ownership of your life. This is what helped me. It's the starting point. You have to start somewhere with all of this way of thinking and living. You can't just manifest something just like that. You need to start small. You need to start somewhere. And gratitude is that for you. And I just feel like there's such a stigma around it, because it can just look at being so fluffy and just not something that works. Every single morning I would meditate, I would journal. I was doing this I still do this now, but I remember I was doing it consistently for 2, 3, 4 months. I still pretty much do it consistently now, but that's what I mean. You have to start and you have to continue on doing it. And now I'm honestly able to manifest so many incredible things, and you can too, but you need to start small, you need to start simple, and that's with gratitude. So look for the good in whatever you can. Every morning I want you to honestly think and write them out, because words are powerful, and then say them. 3 things you are grateful for. More than 3 if you can do it. Just go for it and really feel how grateful you are for them. Like I said, I was grateful to be home. I honestly was grateful for my house. That's how simple we're starting. Think of the people in your life, the job you have. What does the job allow you to do? Does it give you the money that you need, the time that you need? And then when you feel like you're almost ready, because we're never truly ready, guys, I want you to give thanks for the crappy situation you went through. I don't care if that sounds crazy as well. We're keeping open minds here, guys. Be thankful for the breakup. Be thankful for the loss of a friendship or something that didn't work out in your favor, because as soon as we are shifting that perspective, we are becoming grateful for that negative encounter that happened to us. We are owning it. And I am so grateful for my breakup, because it allowed me to grow. It allowed me to make this podcast. It honestly transformed my life in so many ways. And mostly it just made me realize so much shit about myself that I feel like I never would have learned if I had stayed with somebody from the age of 18. Just remember, everybody is different. Every relationship is different. Personalities vary. I feel like me as a person, that just wasn't something that was destined for me. I am a very social person. I love meeting new people. I feel like I can constantly learn and grow from people. And it just reached its use by date, and we are okay with that. We are okay with people shifting and going through seasons. Remember that, guys. If you are listening to this live, we are in spring. I love spring so much. I just feel like it just has such a positive feeling to it. It honestly is just fresh new beginnings. And this, I feel like I've launched this at such a perfect time. I really just want you to, we're giving thanks to the past and we're moving forward and we are changing our perception on everything. We are lifting up our vibe. We are like increasing our vibration by listening to this podcast. I really hope it is helping you do that. I'm probably going to say this in every single episode. My pure intention is to help. I'm talking to you right now with love because I want you to experience all these incredible things. And once we get our heads around these few concepts, I cannot wait to share the later concepts because they are just so much fun and they are just honestly like, they're magical, like they're powerful. You can do this type of stuff. If you have just gone through a breakup and maybe you're in that party phase, not that we can really party much with COVID, but if maybe in the past that was you, I think it's so fine to just do whatever feels good and to not feel bad or guilty. I know that was me. It was like over the summertime, so I was off from work and, you know, summer, there were many events going on in Adelaide as well. And I was just constantly going out every weekend and I was living my best life, if I'm going to be honest. And I was just meeting so many new people and it's just exactly what I needed because I had just felt so like caged and trapped before. And I was just like spreading my wings. And I got to a point where I started feeling guilty about socializing. And I mean, maybe it was the excess alcohol as well, but I was feeling bad for it. And I was like, should I not be doing this? And I was kind of second guessing everything. And the fact is, I wasn't ready to sit at home in bed and just be upset and be there with my thoughts. Like I wasn't in that stage. I wasn't ready for that stage. And then eventually COVID happened and I was forced into that stage. What I learned from that is not to suppress your feelings. Not that I was intentionally suppressing them, but I was just having a good time, to be honest. I was just trying to get my mind off things. I was always constantly making plans to keep busy. And that's also when I launched my ebook. If you don't know, I wrote a 30 Days to Wholesome Living ebook and I launched it on my birthday, November 29. And I was working super hard leading up to that. So that was really good for me to just kind of bury myself in work. I find that's what I do and I don't know, it works for me. But whatever your thing is, just be kind, be cool with that, be content with that. Don't think you need to conform to society's expectations of the 7 stages of a breakup or whatever is out there on the internet. Just do what feels right for you. And if you're having fun, keep going. If you're not having fun, let's see what we can change here. We're going to start with your mindset. We're going to start with being grateful for the situation, no matter how crazy that sounds. And then we're going to start with improving our mindset and growing and taking ownership of it and moving forward. I think such an important thing to remind yourself of is, I don't know if we ever truly move on from people. That sounds like a pretty intense thing, but instead of moving on from them, we're moving forward. We are looking back at what that person or situation or relationship taught us, whether they actually did teach us something from them, or we learned something from ourselves, or they introduced us to something new, maybe like a new food or something. Like, that's what I mean. We can keep it as simple or as intense as we want. Look back at that and be selective of your memories. I mentioned that in the last episode as well, I think. We are not suppressing our feelings or the memories. We are being selective of what reminds us of them. And now is the time to become curious. People who know me in real life know I ask like a million questions. I am just so curious and fascinated about so many things. And a lot of things interest me. That's just me. I just love, learning basically from people especially. And now's the time for you to do that. So get to know yourself, find out what you're interested in, and just dive deep into it. And this is how you're going to become your own best friend. Find your passions and then do something that scares you. Like, yet again, I know that's like a classic saying, but it's so true. Maybe it can be as simple as going to the gym in the weight section and you're this young girl around all these guys and the thought of that is just daunting as hell. That was me 100,000%. But now I just don't care because I'm just so confident and comfortable in myself. And I realize I'm there for a reason. I'm there to train. I'm there to work out at the gym. I'm not there to worry about what other random people think of me. Okay? We are owning our own lives. We are not letting people's presence dictate our future. We're not letting people's presence dictate our lives and what we do. We are not letting them stop us. We're not letting them get in the way, okay? And by playing the victim card is allowing that. You are blaming other people for you maybe not doing something or achieving something or how you're feeling. We're not playing the victim card. The victim card is small. We are not playing it small. Like I said last episode, we are playing it big. We are going big, guys. Okay, you may be thinking, but how do I meet new people, new friends, do these new experiences? It all starts with one. It all starts with one yes, and it's just a snowball and you go from there. And if that's your intention, if you're lifting your vibration and you are ready to attract these new people and situations that you are wanting. So yet again, we're going from gratitude to what we are wanting to attract in people, like I said in the first episode. And then those situations and those people are going to come to us. So this is manifesting, guys. It's that simple. The universe won't always give you the end result, but it's going to give you the pieces. And it's up to you to put them together. So in my case, it started with meeting 2 or 3 new people, and then I met more people through them and more people through those people, and it's like this little snowball effect. And okay, you may be thinking like, Isabelle, I'm not a very social person, I'm not like that, that's not me. That's fine. It doesn't have to be that way for everybody. I'm just sharing my experience, but I'm also sharing with you how simple it can be. By saying one yes, you don't know where that's going to lead to. You don't know who you're going to meet. You could be like the love of your bloody life by just like saying yes to seeing one friend and then meeting someone else through them. Like, you just never know. I mean, I am just such a big yes person. Like I said, I attach meaning and reasoning to so many things because that's my mindset. That's my mind shift. It keeps me going. It keeps me comfortable. It keeps me motivated as well. I want you to say yes to seeing somebody this week, whether it's somebody new or an old friend you've been meaning to catch up with. I want you to do that because you don't know where it's going to lead. Okay, it could be an absolute flop, or it could be the opposite, and you don't know who you're going to meet and where you're going to go and how you're going to feel, most importantly. If you are being super conscious of your thoughts and who you are wanting to attract, it's eventually going to come to you. It only makes sense. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more, follow our journey on startsomewhere.podcast on Instagram. I'm Isabelle, and I look forward to chatting with you in our next episode. Have a sweet day. Feeling you.